We're watching films on the toilet, because that's what dads have to do. When the movie's unsuitable for your kids, then pretend you need a number two. If you need a break from your family or spouse, there's a lavatorial picture house. Watch Terminator 2 while you're sitting on the loo. Enjoy the whole of Rambo 4 with your trousers on the floor. We're watching films on the toilet. How about you?
Welcome to Watching Films on the Toilet, a podcast with two dads, me, Ben Dad, and...
I'm Eamonn, hello.
Eamonn Dad, in which we watch movies on the toilet because we can't watch them because they're violent and horrible. We can't watch them with our kids, or we just don't want to. We just want some peace.
Yeah, it's a conceit that's growing thinner by the day as our children get older and can watch violent films.
I actually took my 15-year-old son to see this film that we're going to talk about today with me. So you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's going out the window. So I think it has to be more about us just being really grumpy and not wanting to spend time with anyone else rather than trying to be good parents. And that I think that is more of a universal thing as well. I'm sure there are lots of people in relationships without parents or children who don't want to spend time with their partners.
People without children can be as well.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
We haven't been on the airwaves for a while, have we?
No, not for a long time. Ben, what's new with you?
Well, I don't have a job. So I had a crisis, didn't I? Crisis of life. I quit my job. So I had to kind of get my head around that for a while. And now I don't have a job. So we can do the podcast again. Yay!
You told me you spent all day playing computer games today.
I did. It was really good. It was really my first day of freedom. I am going to get a job again, but not for a moment. What about you? What have you? How long has it been? Like 6 months?
I think it's been 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
That's half a year, Eamonn. And what have you been up to?
I've picked up a debilitating illness.
Oh, wow. From a tramp or from just... nature.
I don't really want to say what it is explicitly, but long-term listeners of the podcast can probably work it out for themselves.
Should we do a competition?
Yeah, if you can guess what it is, you get a prize.
Excellent. Okay, we'll shout you out on the podcast. We won't say what it is, but we will shout you out if you manage to guess it. Do you want to do it as in a pick from a list, multiple choice, or just people suggest what it could be?
Oh no, I think. I think if you really properly listen to a lot of the conversations that we've had, I think quite obvious.
Yeah, I think so too. It's not AIDS, but it could be something else.
It's
for us to cut that. Anyway,
we can't. Hey, no, that's a good thing now, Ben. You don't have a job that you need to protect anymore, so we can say whatever the hell we like.
The strange thing is, I feel like I still have to censor myself. It's part of my character on this show as well, isn't it? You're the one that says whatever the hell you want. Yeah. I have to be slightly more restrained.
That's what makes the dynamic work.
Shall we maintain that, or shall we just throw it out the window?
It's a soft reboot. We soft reboot our personalities as well.
We should. Yeah, let's. Well, we have to have aspects like legacy aspects of our personalities and completely new bits.
Okay.
So let's start with you. So you've got, what would be the legacy aspect? I guess just general disdain for the world.
What's that word? Another thing. I can't think anymore. I can't think of words. I've gone to that stage now where I'm trying to think of quite obvious words and I can't remember them.
So that's new.
Oh, but by the way, it's not Alzheimer's that I have, but who knows? It might be. It might be
that as well.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, you've got your legacy and you've got your new. For me, I guess the legacy is I'll do impressions. Mm-hmm. I can do some of them. And new...
Wolfish new goatee beard.
Is that a personality trait?
I don't think there's anything else we have, is there, for you?
Nothing. I think nothing else. I'm very dry. Very, very weak.
Yeah, it's difficult. Whenever people ask me to describe your personality, I always run out of things to say, and then I just end up saying goatee.
Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. So good. But yeah, I mean, it is a soft reboot, as you said, which is very appropriate because we're talking about a soft reboot today, aren't we?
That is dovetailed real nice.
Thanks very much. Alien Romulus, Fede Alvarez's new Alien movie, which we've both seen a couple of times at cinema. But don't let that fool you into thinking, we love it. Maybe we do.
Maybe we hated it.
Maybe we don't. Maybe we hated it. Maybe we wanted to be tortured twice.
I wanted that to happen or to get married again.
Is this new part?
Yeah, this is new part as well now.
Jokes
and like on the buses stole misogynistic humour.
You were becoming increasingly far right as we last podcasted. So have you gone all the way, or have you leaned away
from? I've mellowed out a bit.
Were you put off by the long prison sentences of the protesters? Is that what this is?
It didn't help.
Did it sway you a bit?
I was just putting my jacket and hat on, about to go out, and then I saw the headlines, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure about that."
Where are you going? Oh, nowhere.
Actually, I'm just going to stay in.
I'm just going to go for just going to sit down.
Why are you taking the rolling pin? No reason.
Anyway. I was about to talk. You ruined it with that funny joke. It was good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sorry.
I forgot what this is all about. Long time no see. A lot of correspondence. Yeah. We have had some letters. Had a massive letters bag and voice notes bag when we came back. So would you like to start? What have we got?
Yeah, I've got a letter here. Let me just find it. Dear Watching Films in the Toilet. It's foe of the podcast, James Cameron here. I thought I'd get in touch as you're reviewing the new Alien movie, and since I know a thing or two about this franchise, I thought I'd offer my 2 cents. I can say unequivocally that this movie is a triumph from both a technical and an artistic perspective. Unfortunately, I have a bit of a dodgy reputation when it comes to reviewing other people's films. For example, I said that, and I quote, I really enjoyed Terminator Genesis, and I thought that everyone would enjoy that movie. Now, as we all know, that movie was complete dog. But in my defense, I had a significant financial interest in that movie, so I was merely lying to the audience to make myself rich. What's so wrong with that? I think I also said Dark Fate was great during publicity for the movie, even though I later admitted I knew full well it would never work. But just because there's incontrovertible evidence that I'm a proven liar when it comes to movie reviews, I am being honest about this one. Though, in the interest of full disclosure, here are some of my other missteps. Comparing Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey to Rashomon, claiming Adam Sandler comedy Jack and Jill was life-affirming, calling Ingmar Bergman a dumbass, and saying that Battlefield Earth gave me a boner. But in fairness, I only said these things because they directly benefited me in some way. Anyway, I hope that clears everything up. Lots of love, James.
Fantastic. I mean, it's interesting that James should write in because you might say that he's a legacy character.
Very much
on our podcast.
Do you have any correspondence, Ben?
Do you got a voice note?
Watching films on the toilet. A lot of people do that. A lot of good people. I don't spend a lot of time on the toilet. And if I do, it's very efficient. And it doesn't smell. Never smells. And as for the movies, I love the movies. I've done a lot of movies. More movies than most movie stars even. Home Alone 2, one of the great movies. Far better than Home Alone 1. That's what most people think. I don't get a lot of time to watch movies. I'm too busy. But all I have to do is watch a trailer for a movie, and I know exactly what's happened. For example, I saw the trailer for Wolverine in the Deadpool, and I knew exactly what had happened at the end. They found a treasure chest full of diamonds, and they bought a house together in Hawaii. And we're going to do great things, so many great things. Not like Kamala. Thank you very much, Wisconsin.
And that was it.
Oh.
It's Trump.
I wondered who that was.
Yeah, he must struggle to do his voice over and over again because it must hurt his throat.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of a husk there, doesn't he?
He does have a husk. I'm just taking a sip of water after listening to him. He's just given us some props, I think.
That's exactly the kind of endorsement we're looking for. That's a very strong message, wasn't it? It was well realised. that message.
Yeah, I agree. Like all of his messages. Yeah. Yeah, he's a stand-up guy.
Great.
And best of luck to him in this run for presidency.
We're rooting for him, aren't we?
Oh, can't wait.
We're Team Trump.
Can't wait.
Team Trump here.
Yeah, Team Trump.
Well, I mean...
MAGA.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a job. I might be dying, so we don't really care if the world blows up, do we?
No, it would be better.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're done, the world's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So I believe we have an interview, a new feature, a celebrity interview. We're going to try and interview a different celebrity each time now. Aren't we going to reach out?
Yeah. I mean, you've got a little bit ahead of yourself there, Ben, as usual. This is part of a new item we're calling movie news.
Okay.
And the celebrity interview falls within that. It's like a subcategory.
Oh, right. Okay.
But good try. Good try.
Yeah. I went with it.
Gave you your best shot.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't stop me till right at the end, but thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you're in charge of this, clearly. You know what's going on. I don't.
Yeah, so we talk about various bits of movie news, and then we'll try and get an interview.
So we do some news stories then, and then we'll see if there's a room for an interview at the end.
Why don't we do a soft reboot of your brain? See how that goes.
You're the one that said you couldn't remember words. Just reboot you.
Do what?
If I say it quietly, it means I mean it.
Yeah, you do. That's quite a good rule of thumb with Ben.
All right, good. So, Eamonn, movie news.
Movie news.
Let's have some movie news. It's got a jingle. Do I start?
Why don't you start, Ben?
Have you seen Wolverine and Deadpool?
I have not.
Okay, it's fun. But Liev Schreiber?
Yes.
So he plays Sabretooth in the X-Men movies, and he was apparently going to be in Wolverine and Deadpool. There is someone who plays Sabretooth, but it was what's he called, Tyler fella, big wrestler dude. Liev Schreiber said he didn't do it. I quote, "To be honest, it's a lot of work getting your body up to that point. I know I watched Hugh Jackman get himself ready again, and I thought, I'm okay to sit by the sidelines." So he didn't want to be in the movie because he couldn't get in the shape.
Well, it's interesting. There's been this whole study about performance-enhancing drugs in Hollywood, hasn't there?
Yeah, maybe he's dabbled with the roids in the past, and he didn't want to get to the sort of homicidal point that he'd have to have gotten to in order to jack himself up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I thought it was relevant because we discussed how we needed to get in podcast shape, didn't we? We've been away for a long time. I think maybe that's what's put us off. You gotta get back in that podcast shape.
Yeah. What training have you done to come back?
A couple of Tough Mudders. I actually did Go Ape. Not that that's really training, but have I told you about Go Ape? No. Have you done Go Ape?
No, I'd like to try it.
You know how it works. Like you go up in the trees, you got like a harness and a clip, and you clip onto tight metal wires that go across the trapeze and stuff, so you don't completely fall off. And there's a zip wire. Anyway, went there with my kids. I was at the back of the line supervising them, about to go down the first zip wire, and you have like two carabiners. Clips and like a runner, so little wheels, so it can you down the zip line. So I checked my boys were fine, off they went, and I jumped onto the zip wire and stopped about 10 feet from the platform. So I was hanging about 50 feet in the air because I hadn't attached the runner. I just used the carabiners. So I was stuck hanging. Lots of people waiting to go onto the zip line, below and above, all looking up at me. And I was stuck there for 10 minutes, and a man had to come and save me. He had to wrap his legs around me and winch me down. And the worst part was I didn't care about the height because the harness I was wearing was crushing any hope I'd ever have of having another child.
Really?
For 10 minutes. And it was actually horrible. So I didn't enjoy that, but I did see the boys rolling around with laughter along with my friend who came along. So yeah, that was my Go Ape experience. Nothing to do with Liev Schreiber, but really quite unpleasant. But I'm sure you can picture me hanging there.
Imagine you look like Boris Johnson when he got suspended.
That was the gift my friend sent me as soon as we got our phones back. Thankfully, no one had their phone because that would have
I would love that. Okay, well, must be like a month when it comes to Hollywood news, because one of the big stories I keep on seeing is that Arnold Schwarzenegger has a deal with Warner Brothers whereby he gets to keep his Mr. Freeze costume.
All right.
But he has to pay the studio $1 every year. So he doesn't own it outright. It's like he's renting.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Curious is to find out a bit more about the story. So we're actually joined now by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hey, can you hear me?
Arnold, hello. Ben, I think you need to go somewhere, I think. Do you want to go off and do that thing we talked about? And I'll interview Arnie.
All right. I'll be back in a minute. Do you like that, Arnie? You like that?
No.
Okay. All right. Arnie's like my hero, but...
Yeah, I'm not that fussed about him, but if you go, that'd be great. Thank you.
Shall I go? Okay, bye.
Okay, cool. You had interest about this news story, Arnie. But first of all, how have you been?
I'm very well. I'm having a great time, enjoying my senior age and enjoying, I like to ride around in California on my bicycle every morning. I feed my donkey in the kitchen. Yeah. I'm having a great time.
How is the secret son you had with your ugly housekeeper?
He's growing up to be a fine young man. He comes to the gym with me. He works out. We work out together. And he's great. Thank you.
And he looks exactly like you. I mean, it took a lot of cojones for you to say he wasn't your son.
Yeah, there came a point where he was clearly my son. When he was a big puffy baby, there was a little bit of doubt. Then he was a small toddler, and he started to look a little bit like me. But then when he grew up, when he was a child, then I just couldn't say that he wasn't mine anymore. Yeah. So I embraced him as my own. Up until that point, I had completely ignored him. But then I decided, well, I suppose I should be nice to this young man. And now I treat him like a son.
Because, he quite literally is a son, isn't it?
Because he is my son.
Anyway, we got you in to discuss this Mr. Freeze outfit. Now, a little bit of background for the listeners. You played Mr. Freeze, the sort of baddie who sort of comes good at the end of the movie.
That's right. A freeze is coming.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's one of his things. Good. And you kind of have this like chrome metallic suit, and then a kind of a glass sort of bowl for on the head. Yeah.
Cool off.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, good. What attracted you? What was the reason you wanted to keep that outfit?
Well, you see, I love cooking Mexican food, and the glass helmet means I can chop all the onions I want without crying. I remember James Cameron came up to me on the set of Terminator 2, and I was preparing some Mexican food. I had tears rolling down my face. Yeah. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm chopping the onions." He said, "That has never happened to me before. It doesn't affect me in that way." And that is where the line, "I know now why you cry, but it's something I can never do," came from.
So that's not to do with the quasi-father-son bond that they developed over the course of the movie.
But then the problem with the helmet is I forgot to take it off. So I get so excited when I'm preparing my Mexican food, and then I eat my birria tacos, and they make a huge mess.
Because they're messy at the best of times, aren't they, birria tacos?
They're very messy, and they get all over my helmet and inside, and then they have to have it cleaned. So even though I only have to pay the company $1, they have it for a year, I spend a lot of time and money cleaning the suit or the tacos off the suit.
Well, the tacos off the suit. Okay.
Yeah.
And have you kept any of the other outfits from any of the movies?
I keep all of my outfits. I keep the pregnant pump from Junior. And I try and trick my girlfriend. I say, "Look, I've eaten too many birria tacos." And I say, "Look at me, I'm a fat guy." And she says, "Leave me alone. I'm doing my work." And it's very disappointing.
Yeah. Any other good costumes that you've taken a shine to?
There was also the Turbo Man costume from Jingle All the Way, and this was the first outfit I took because I thought it would be good for chopping onions for my beer tacos.
Yeah.
But because the helmet is not airtight, it's very poorly made. The onion fumes would come underneath the visor, and they stay in there. It'd be worse. It would be worse. It would be even worse in there. And so it made the preparation of the beer tacos very difficult, and so I don't use that anymore.
So Turbo Man, obviously, it's not hermetically sealed. So the fumes come.
Doesn't work at all. I wouldn't recommend it if you want to get one of the costumes. I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Any other costumes you like?
Well, I have the Viking head and the loincloth from Conan the Barbarian.
Okay.
Because I am a huge history buff.
Yeah.
I love reading about history. I'm very interested in history. And so, as I'm sure you know, the Vikings brought the first beer taco to America. And that is why I wear that costume, so to show I am like a Viking in a barbarian.
I don't think that's true. I think it's a native Mexican dish, isn't it?
That is not true. No, the Vikings burned their dead on a big pile of pico de gallo.
Okay.
And they worshipped Thor, who was the god of carne asada.
I mean, I've never heard this take on Mexican cuisine before. I mean,
it's true. You should learn more about your history.
Where are you getting this information, Arnold?
From the internet.
Okay, what's coming up for you? Any big news?
No, not much.
Good. Okay, in that case, thank you very much, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Bye.
Oh, is he still here?
I've just missed him. He's gone.
Was it a good chat?
Really good. Really good.
Quite long. I was gone for quite a while.
Yeah, you were. I was surprised the thing would take that long. But it was.
Might need to tighten up the interviews in the news in future. It was a long one, wasn't it?
Well, I feel it'll come down in the edit.
Yeah,
it'll come down in the edit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Right then. Well, so movie news. And now it's time to talk about Alien Romulus. A film that we've been looking forward to for quite a while, right?
Yes, long-term listeners will know that both of us are massive fans of this franchise. When I say the franchise, I mean films 1 and 2.
They're Alien and Aliens.
They're brilliant.
Yeah, and all the others can, how can I put it, eat a bag of dicks.
Yeah, none of them are anywhere close to being as good as the first two. I mean...
Nowhere near. So this is set in between the two ones, what we love. And what did you have a drink of so that I may summer-wee the film?
Well, as we all know, the aliens have concentrated acid for blood. So that's what I drank.
Oh, wow. You drank acid. How did your throat respond to that?
Well, I anticipated the problems and I ate a whole pack of Rennie before I'd had it.
That's a good plan. I thought you might have gone into some sort of anti-gravity chamber and had the acid float about in your tummy.
Just like in the middle of my tongue.
Yeah. Just spiraling round and round and round.
Yeah. So anyway, no problems. So no need for any follow-up questions.
Oh, perfect. Good. I mean, when it comes out, I'll be intrigued to see how that feels. So how long did your acid drink provide for my summer wee? Which is a summary of the film in the time it takes Eamonn to do a big long wee, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, pull that point. So you've got a minute and 18 seconds.
1 minute, 18 seconds. All right, cool. I think I can do that. Right, we're good? Yeah?
All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
So it's 2142, sometime between Alien and Aliens. A bunch of scientists find a cocooned alien amongst the wreckage of the Nostromo. What luck! A few months later, we meet our hero Rain, who's working on a mining colony with her simple android brother Andy, kind of like Snow White if she'd only met Dopey. To escape the toxic mines, she agrees to help her ex-boyfriend and his irritating friends steal some cryopods from an abandoned space station so they can have a big sleep and wake up somewhere nice. Unfortunately, as they attempt to retrieve the cryo fuel, which only sounds stupid, they release a load of vacuum-packed facehuggers, one of which lays a hard-boiled egg inside the character who's had the least lines of dialogue. And before we know it, there's a load of xenomorphs running around, spilling their acid blood and busting people's heads open with their snappy tongues. To make matters worse, there's this android on board who's received huge damage to his midsection and only minimal but somehow worse damage to his small face. His only concern is getting his special Prometheus cocktail off the ship before it crashes into the mining planet's rings, and he doesn't care who dies in the process. The resourceful Rain and Cuddle Me Andy make it off the ship only for the pregnant character to dose herself with the Xeno Mojito, because the other aliens just aren't scary enough. So she ends up giving birth to a terrifying Romanian basketball player who gets sucked into space. Then Rain has a nap. The end.
Ah, very good. So yeah, there's a bit of an overrun there, but very good summary.
Through the magic of editing, I imagine that will seem quite concise, but it took me quite a while to get that out. I haven't done it for a while. Eamonn, would you rather die in a mine or on an alien-infested ship? What would you choose, do you think?
Do I know I'm going to die?
No, you don't know you're going to die. Oh no, you kind of have to, because you've got to choose. So yes, you know you're going to die in one way or the other. So you can spend a life in toxic minery and die a fairly slow death of some kind of lung cancer, or you can go up to the ship and either get chest bursted by a facehugger or get your head smashed in by a xenomorph.
Yeah, it's like live a day as a lion or live a lifetime as a chicken. I don't know if that's the proverb.
Yes, it's the popular phrase, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess I probably would to go and get killed by an alien.
It'd be pretty cool. Like, I know it'd be terrifying and you'd die, but it would be cool to see an alien. That would be like, I'd love to see a great white shark in real life. Like, seeing an alien would be like that.
Yeah, I imagine I'd be catatonic. Like in fear, I would just be unable to move.
Yeah.
I'd just be so...
Yeah.
It's the reason I never played Alien Isolation.
Oh, mate, that game would mess you up.
Like I actually did play it for a bit, but I could only go as far as before the alien is introduced. So it's just like...
It's too much.
Yeah, I've experienced the game, there's atmosphere, that's enough for me.
This film is inspired by Isolation, I believe. It's more, you know... Like Aliens are haunted house horror. Aliens is more of a kind of action horror. Has a horror elements, does it? Where this feels like a survival horror, like a video game.
Yeah. Which would you rather do?
Alien. I'd love to meet an alien. I know it would kill me, but that'd be.
You know what?
I wouldn't want to be chest bursted. I think that would be.
Yes, I think I'd rather get killed by a big alien than
I'd rather get head. Bleh.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Janna take on an alien because they would have the self-belief that they could chin an alien.
They would. I could see one like punching it in its big
and head. Like bouncing off.
A couple of punches. Get on! Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to put that tongue from your head, are you? Come on!
Yeah,
that'd be the end.
Do you know the aliens are supposed to take on the characteristics of the host?
Yes.
If their host was a Janna, I imagine that alien would be. If it's conceivable, even more aggressive.
Very aggressive. It would also have shopping bags.
And it'd have a couple of kids with it as well.
Yeah. What do you think of the chest burster scene in this? It was ruined in the trailer for me.
Yes, I really wish they hadn't done that. It was a 15, this film.
Yeah.
But it still felt quite gory. I was quite surprised they got away with it.
I took my son to see it.
Having nightmares, isn't he? You were saying.
Yeah, he hasn't slept since. He said when we got out, he said that the big lad at the end. He said that is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
But I did like, even though it's a 15, in a way, I think it was one of the most sort of disgusting ones because
it was nasty. It's that flap of.
Exactly.
Sternum,
which I think it's almost like the most realistic way I think a body would kind of break apart It wouldn't just go and explode like it usually does. It would be horrible like that and only come out a little bit. So
it made me touch my chest, like just to check I hadn't been chest bursted.
Another sort of hallmark of the series is the morally ambiguous androids.
Yeah.
And on this one, we've got Andy. So there's two different Andys. There's the Andy, the simpleton brother.
Yes.
And then when at some point, he gets a sort of a chip put into his head to allow him to access different computers. And it changes his personality.
It does.
To be sort of sinister and be looking out for the company.
And more English.
And completely English.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they made a very capable, competent robot English and a total div, an American.
I did like Andy a lot. If you had to choose an android, I think I'd go with the simple joke-telling Andy.
Divvy
you around.
Divvy Andy.
Not sure if we could say that, but Divvy Andy. I feel like 6 months ago you were smart English Eamonn, and now you've gone back to quite simple Eamonn, like someone's taken your chip out of your head.
I do. Honestly, I feel like a total div. I've been doing...
You're nicer. You are nicer, but you're dumb.
My daughter has just done the 11 plus, and I was trying to help her study, and I was just like, I can't answer any of these.
I mean, that, to be fair, it is really hard.
It's so hard.
It's stupidly hard. But yeah, you are quite dumb.
Yeah. I think it's because for a long time I had a job which was very... I was a TV producer. I'm going to say that. It was very... let's let it out.
Yeah, let's just let it all out. Dox ourselves, as the Gen Zs would say. So, Eamonn, you're so skibbity now. You're so skibbity.
I certainly am. Does that mean good or bad?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. I just know that people say it. No cap.
But yeah, I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was good. What about the other android?
Yeah, that was
the legacy character there.
It was a digital version of Ian Holm, the sadly deceased actor who played Ash in the very first one.
Yeah.
Which I was actually, it was weird. It was kind of terrible execution, but I loved the idea.
It was a good idea, but it looked... I'm just trying to imagine the conversation that was had with his family, because they agreed for Disney, I guess, to use his likeness. And, so, can we... Is that all right? You mind if we... he's going to be in the film. It's going to be brilliant. I know he wanted to return to the franchise, and I'm going to give him a really good send-off. And then he's walking out. They've signed it. They're like, oh, are you going to make him look like those CGI characters from the Star Wars films that look like really bad? Bang, door slams. That's it.
I think it was worse than Star Wars, in fairness.
It was very odd, and I think it was like a lot of it was animatronic.
Yeah, it was a mixture,
but it just didn't. It looked.
I found they used artificial intelligence as well to kind of.
I just don't get it. Someone will release deepfake, and it'll look great. They could have just mangled him up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, rip off half his face.
They'll do the voice, and everyone would know who it was.
That would look great.
I'd say that's kind of like the biggest misstep of the film.
Yeah.
One of the other big criticisms of this movie is that it's like the Rogue One of the Alien franchise. So basically, a sort of a retread of some of the greatest hits, rather than a brand new story in and of itself.
This is the soft reboot trap, isn't it? And I think this film worked best when it did its own thing, when it had like glaring callbacks, like Andy's line when he crushes the alien, "Get away from her,
yeah,
you bitch." Picking up the pulse rifles, aliens running along the ceiling. It takes me out of the movie. I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
And I don't really... There was a lot of new stuff in there which would have worked for people that had never seen an alien movie. Do people really want to see the same thing? Are they that dumb?
I was really relieved that it was just... Yeah. So much of the other stuff was done well. I thought Prometheus and Alien Covenant were just a mess and all over the place. And this kind of felt like it got the aesthetic right.
Yeah.
I loved that. And the analog sort of style technology. And I loved the colony. And it was like it was aliens.
It looked beautiful.
And I loved, how evil the company was. So it's just got it got so much right. So I was sort of willing to cut it an awful lot of slack, but if they try and retread more of Aliens past, and if they do another one, then I'd be very cross. They need to now go and do a completely different...
They do. I'd like you to talk me through your real-time reaction to the ending. I want to know how you felt about it.
As soon as she injected herself with that thing, I was just like, oh, here we go. There's going to be a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, this has been compared a lot to the newborn in Alien Resurrection,
yes.
which is mental as well.
Completely mad. But I kind of like it. It's the best bit of that film.
It's just because, so famously about motherhood, people are going like, oh, how can we subvert that? Well, maybe become some mother of an alien? Yeah, that works.
Classic mise en scène.
Yeah. Or the mise en scène, exactly.
Sorry, I've interrupted your real-time reaction. Carry on.
So, just because you wanted to say... Did you just want to say mise en scène?
Yeah, I really did, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. When the little pod came out and there's a baby in it, I thought that was really creepy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's an actual baby. Because it looked like an actual baby. And I was like, oh, that's gross. And I was like, I bet it's not going to be a baby for long. And then I thought the reveal of is it the offspring they're calling it?
Yes.
Was creepy AF. It was just kind of on all fours and just kind of staring.
Yeah, there's that moment where there's no big jump scare sting in the score. Just Andy just sees it there waiting, and that was
it was a really sort of scary sequence. And I remember saying to you, first time I watched it, I was just like, oh, brilliant, it's really, really gripping. And then the second time I watched it, I wondered, is it totally necessary?
Yeah,
that last bit. Are they only doing it because Fede Alvarez is thinking, well, the audience is expecting a last little a little bit of pudding at the end?
I think Alien movies, you've got to have that pudding, right? Both Alien and Aliens particularly, whole lot of pudding. Yeah. I went through a real roller coaster. When the baby came out and it was like a baby, there was just this like feeling of dread, which was, it's got Prometheus in it. And I hadn't really... I know they had the ink, Prometheus stuff, and I thought, I hate Prometheus and I hate this now. Oh, no. And then it came out and it looked like one of those, what they called engineers. Yeah. And then when I saw the giant, standing there, which was terrifying and looked great because it is a real man, I just had a moment of peace where I thought, you know what? I can't change that Prometheus exists. It's fine if they're going to use it. And actually, you know what? This looks mental. I like it. And I felt at peace. And then it did that jump scare where it was all like mashed up. And I thought it was actually a really great ending. It was really horrible, which is how it should be. So yeah, well done, Fede.
Yeah. Well done. Apparently he's at basketball, that guy.
I think he's... I think he's got sort of bone problems and stuff.
Yeah, that's probably why he's shit.
Now he can play. Now he can play that big alien.
I know.
In all the movies
in the spin-off.
He's fine.
Yeah,
he's good. He's so big. That man.
Yeah,
he's such a big man.
No, the casting was amazing because it's easily the creepiest bit of the whole film.
It was.
Really I was going to ask you. I love that. Really, the big villain in these films is always the company itself rather than the aliens. Which modern day company is going to become
Wayland
Yutani? What company that we know now?
Well, actually, I read today that apparently by 2027, Elon Musk. Elon, he's a great guy. He had a lot of time. Or Leon, he called him the other day.
Oh, good.
Leon. He's going to be the first trillionaire.
Really?
In the world. Jesus. So, it's Elon, isn't it? SpaceX. It all actually makes sense.
I think Peter Whalen is a really accurately represented tech billionaire because goes into space because he's completely vain and then he was killed immediately. And exactly there's that same thing to Elon Musk. There'll be like a decompression and his like head will explode or something whilst he's making like a dumbass speech. That'll happen. I wouldn't begrudge Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire if that's the end result.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay, so we had a nice chat there, Ben. Now, as customary, we decide whether we're going to flush this film away, like something horrible you see in your toilet, you don't want to see it anymore.
But from the movie, it's a reference to the movie.
Eh? Oh, yeah, okay.
Flush it away like the offspring is flushed out of the spaceship at the end into the planet's rings of rocks.
Okay, that was a good one, yeah. Or you fish it out like the main character is fished out on a chain in exactly the same scene. Yeah,
good one.
That seems a bit cheap, doesn't it?
Good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought I went to see it a second time to check that it was good. And it was. I thought it was, as I said, the good new stuff outweighed the kind of blatant, unnecessary nods to the old stuff. There were a couple of things which, some fairly large plot holes, but I was happy to go along the ride. It looked stunning. There was some really great set pieces, and it was scary at times. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a patch on Alien or Aliens. Like, it's not. I think it's the third best Alien movie, but it's a very long way away from the two best ones. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a great summer Alien movie. What do you think?
Same. I think it's the third best one. I thought that all the scenes in space were amazing. I thought they were absolutely stunning. Look, just fantastic. And I liked how it did. There's lots of nods to Alien Isolation.
Yes.
And there were a couple of really great sequences that you mentioned earlier on. So, yeah, definite fish it out. I just hope now that if they do make another one, which I think seems likely, that it's a clean slate, doing its own thing, rather than lots of nods and winks to the old films.
I hope so too. So that means Alien Romulus is going in our Tank of Glory.
Now,
I have no idea what the Tank of Glory films are.
Shall we reboot our Tank of Glory?
Shall we start it again?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, all right, Eamonn. Start soft reboot. We're going to restart the Tank of Glory. So that means Alien Romulus is the first film to go in.
Hooray.
So that was Alien Romulus, and now it's on to our special new game, Penalty Shootout, because I love football. Man United and Arsenal. That's what they say.
Bloody love football. It's crazy how much you like it.
So, myself and Eamon have each chosen 3 pairs of celebrities, and we have to guess who is the tallest out of those pairs. And whoever gets the most right is the winner. And the reason we're doing this is because there's a big tall man in Alien Romulus.
Have you seen him? He's massive.
He's so tall. I can see how tall he was. It's like 100'9".
I mean, that's tall.
Right, I'm going to start, Eamon. Mm-hmm. You ready?
Go.
Gary Oldman or Helen Mirren? Who is taller?
And
you can play along at home as well.
Well, one's a man, so I'm guessing that the man's taller because men are big. So I'm going to say it's Gary Oldman.
It is Gary Oldman. Yeah. I thought I might have thrown you a curveball.
Men are always bigger than women.
But because you're dumb now, you don't second guess anything. And you just went with your
you need to
conservative traditional values. It is Gary Oldman.
It's our traditional value, men are bigger than women.
Yeah. It's...
I'll have none of this. Women are taller than men, Chan, in my house.
Men are the breadwinners, and they're taller than their wives.
Gary Oldman is 5'7", and Helen Mirren is 5'4".
Oh,
so 1 to you, Eamon.
Hooray! Okay, your one. Okay, Bridget Nielsen.
Oh, yeah.
Or Elizabeth Debicki.
Who's that?
It is the lady from Tenet. She was Princess Diana in...
Bridget Nielsen.
Do you think she's taller?
Yes.
Bridget Nielsen is 185 centimetres.
Right, what's that in feet?
Oh, I don't know.
You do, don't worry.
So I'm doing metric. Yeah,
you'll do it fine. It's still the same.
Yeah, and I think that's about 6'1".
Yeah.
Okay, and this is Vicky is 1.90 m.
Oh, so she's taller.
About 6'2" or 6'3".
Oh, 0 to me. Dang. Yeah. All right. Okay. Onward. All right. Jeremy Strong or Jeremy Renner?
Good one, because I know they're both quite small fellas. I would say Jeremy Renner is taller.
It's taller. Okay, so Jeremy Strong is 5'10".
Oh,
Jeremy Renner is 5'7".
I thought Jeremy Strong was much shorter.
You would think Kendall didn't come across as tall, did he?
Was he so method that he made himself smaller?
Yeah, he was. He's so good that he can actually shrink his entire body.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh well, very good. Good question.
Okay, thank you. So it's 1 to you,
1-1,
and
one to you,
1 to me. Is it? No, you're going to ask me one now. You got one right, and I've still got one right.
Okay, right. Okay. Bill Murray and Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, Jimmy. Bill Murray.
Oh yeah. Well, why? What's your reasoning there then?
I think I've heard that Bill Murray is quite tall.
He is quite tall, but is he tall enough?
Maybe Jimmy Stewart's taller.
So Bill Murray is 1.87 m. Jimmy Stewart is 1.91 m.
Oh, Jimmy's 4 centimeters taller. Oh no!
I think that needs some work.
Yeah. I can't do it. It's in the ballpark.
It is in the ballpark. You're right.
It's in the ballpark. Still 1 to you, none to me.
Okay.
You get this right, you've def won.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling?
I mean, if this was which Ryan do I prefer, it would be Gosling all day and all night.
Oh, I know that, babe. I know that.
We all know he's the superior Hollywood Ryan.
Yeah, he is.
However, I think they're both quite tall, aren't they? You're holding up your finger.
That's because you've got one right and I've got none, and I have to remember on my fingers because I won't remember in my brain.
Okay. I think we've both gone a bit divvy, haven't we?
It's these tricks you can use if you've lost your mind.
You should do one of those YouTube tutorials where like a fucking idiot tries to come off as like an expert. So here's a few simple tips you can do if you've forgotten a simple score.
I just put one finger up and none fingers up.
I do. If someone scored a point, I do a pointer finger, and I point my finger in the air. And if they've not done a point, I do a ball with my other hand. A ball.
And if there's 3 people playing, I stick my tongue out and the other one goes, It's good. That would be a good tutorial.
That would be a good tutorial.
Come on. You've procrastinated enough.
Yeah.
What is your answer? Reynolds or Gosling?
I'm gonna say Reynolds. He looks a bit taller.
Ryan Reynolds is 6'2". Ryan Gosling is 6 feet.
Yeah.
So yes, you are right. 2 to you.
2-0.
Can I have one last one, or have I had 3? No, I haven't had
2. But
I need one last one.
I have 1.
How about if I get this one, I win?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, special answer. Give me 3 points. Yeah. Shake on it. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. I've got a really hard one, so I'm feeling sorry for you. So
the others were hard.
But at least there's like a significant amount of difference.
It's going to be a centimetre, isn't it? It's irrelevant. It doesn't. I'm just picturing people. It's
Okay. Bill Burr or Jack Black?
Jack Black feels like a short, annoying man. I mean, we've seen Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Which time? And the landing stage. I'm going to say, I think Bill Burr's taller.
Bill Burr is 1.78 m. Jack Black is 1.68 m.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Winner. Yes.
Okay.
Not really. You won, Eamonn.
Oh, well, thanks.
But I am glad I got that last one.
Yeah,
and
that was a
Jack Black can do one. I'm bored of him.
I thought he was a little bit holier than thou when he cancelled that tour because Kyle Glass made an innocent joke about Trump being murdered.
Yeah, that was a weird joke move.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Good win.
Thanks. So I get to choose the next film, and you have to do a forfeit.
Oh, what's my forfeit going to be?
You have to conduct an experiment with some black goo.
All right. I'll see what I can find.
Okay, and our next film is going to be an interesting-looking Nicolas Cage horror thriller called Long Legs.
Long Legs. Cool. Okay. I shall look forward to that. I like how we're sort of a little bit late to the table with these movies.
I know.
But I'd say it's in keeping with our MO as busy dads.
Exactly. Right, so that about does it for this soft reboot.
Do we still have Patreons, or have they stopped?
I don't know. I'll have to have a look, and then
if you are still one of our Patreons, thanks you very much. Wouldn't have blamed you for bailing out, but we will give
us
you
money for no reason.
A big thank you next time. Yeah.
Okay.
So there we go. So that was all right.
Thought it was fine.
We've had better.
Yeah.
But we've had worse.
Much worse.
Much worse.
Yeah.
We touched on some stuff we always rely on, and we threw some new stuff into the mix. A lot like Alien Romulus.
This is no Hellraiser. That's one of my favourite episodes. But it's not RoboCop 2 either.
It's not RoboCop 2. No.
It's what is this?
It's the Frighteners.
Yeah, it's a Frighteners. Yeah.
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 And if you're a long-time listener and you can relate to that in any way, thanks for listening. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks.
I hope you're happy to have us back. I did actually, I got a couple of messages while we were away asking for us to come back, and it just warmed my heart.
Oh.
I ignored them for quite a while because we really took our time, but here we are.
Yeah. And you didn't share them with me, so thanks for that.
I didn't want to make you feel better, so...
Good. Keep blushing.